Deep in the savannas of southern Africa lives one of the continent's most fearsome animals, the Cape buffalo. But even a giant this powerful can be worn down by something the size of a fingernail. Ticks, hundreds of them, buried in the folds of his hide, around the base of his horns, inside his ears, on his neck, and in his groin. Some have been feeding for days, swollen up to the size of a grape, gorged tight with his blood. Each one of these isn't just an itch, it's a disease carrier, a source of infection, and a slow, steady drain of blood. Over the course of a month, a heavily infested buffalo can lose a noticeable amount of blood to ticks alone, weakening him right when he needs his strength most. He shakes his head violently, slaps at his sides with his tail, rubs against acacia trunks, but the ticks are locked in and nothing seems to shake them loose. He drops into the dust and rolls, trying to bury the parasites under a layer of dirt. It helps, but only for a little while. Flies are already circling his eyes and nostrils, adding to the misery. It looks like there's no way out. Then, a sharp, rattling call cuts through the air. A flock of small birds with bright red beaks is closing in on the herd. These are red-billed oxpeckers, birds that spend almost their entire lives riding on the backs of large grazing animals. They land right on the buffalo's horns like a perch, and without hesitation start working their way down toward his neck and ears. Their beak is built exactly for this job. Narrow, sturdy, flattened at the sides, almost like a tiny pair of tweezers. The bird grips into the hide with sharp claws, braces with its stiff tail, and starts plucking off one bloated tick after another. One precise strike of the beak, and another tick is gone. The oxpecker moves straight on to the next spot. The heaviest cluster of parasites is packed inside the ear canal, and the bird dives in almost head first, completely unbothered. Within minutes, 5 or 6 birds can be working the same buffalo at once, each one covering its own section of hide. Scientists call this mutualism. The birds get a full meal, and the buffalo gets relief from parasites he could never remove on his own. In close-up, you can see just how tightly the ticks are packed into the thin skin around the eyes, the most vulnerable patch of hide on his whole body. The oxpecker works those exact zones: eyelids, the base of the lashes, the folds around the nostrils, spots the buffalo could never reach on his own. Some ticks are so engorged with blood, they're barely hanging on anymore, ready to come off at the lightest touch of the beak. The birds aren't just eating ticks, they're also stripping away dead skin and wax, giving the hide an extra layer of cleaning. While one oxpecker works the base of a horn, another has already moved to the shoulder, and a third is combing through the folds of the neck. From a distance, it looks like a coordinated cleaning crew, methodically working every square inch of the giant's body. About half an hour in, the buffalo's whole demeanor shifts. He stops throwing his head every few seconds. His ears, which had been twitching almost non-stop, now move slowly and rarely. He lowers his head and starts grazing again, a clear sign that the itching and irritation have finally eased off. The oxpeckers don't fly off right away. They keep patrolling his body, picking off new ticks that latch on from the tall grass every single day. This partnership has a darker side too. Sometimes the birds reopen healing wounds just to get at fresh blood, and scientists still debate exactly where the benefit ends and the harm begins. Even so, the overall balance clearly favors the buffalo. Without oxpeckers, tick loads on large grazing animals run noticeably higher. Sometimes a third partner joins in. Small freshwater fish gather around the legs of animals that wade into the river, picking off ticks loosened by the water right at the skin's edge. While the oxpeckers work up top, the fish clean the legs and belly underwater, territory the birds can't reach at all. Two completely different species, working the same body at the same time, united by one goal: clearing the host of parasites. By evening, the buffalo is standing on the open plain, looking like a different animal. Relaxed, eyes half closed, tail flicking lazily at the occasional fly. The oxpeckers settle along his back like a row of birds on a fence, their work for the day nearly done. For the birds, it was just another good meal. For the buffalo, it was survival. A partnership millions of years of evolution built for exactly this moment. This isn't a one-time act of kindness. It's a system that runs like clockwork every single day for every buffalo in the herd. In the wild, survival is rarely a solo act. Sometimes your most reliable ally weighs less than a bag of sugar. And as long as ticks keep climbing up out of the grass, this buffalo will always have a team ready to hold the line.